is Oromo Voice Radio English program. Oromo Voice Radio is broadcasting to Oromia at 16-meter band or 17,850 kilohertz or on oromovoice.org website. OVR broadcasts Oromia Insight program every Monday for 15 minutes at 7:15 p.m. Oromia local time. Welcome to Oromia Insight program.
Welcome to Oromia Insight. My name is Ali Galato. This is part 3 interview with Professor Hamdesa Tuso about Horn of African crisis, Ethiopia-Eritrea conflict and its implication for the Oromo people.
The two regimes, namely the government in Asmara and the regime in Addis Ababa, are both very unpopular. Each regime had its own unique history. Each regime had its own unique source of vulnerability. They have certain things in common. Both are undemocratic, authoritarian, one ethnic-based, and then run by dictators. In case of Eritrea, Isaias Afwerki was a brilliant liberation front leader. While they were fighting against the government in Ethiopia under Haile Selassie and under military government, they organized hospitals underground in schools and ran programs for the population where they controlled the territories. It was a brilliant organization. Also, they also understood that the military government of certain regions, such as Tigray, so they wanted to create a buffer zone. So they helped to create the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, 1975. They trained them, they gave them military assets, they gave them security, and finally they organized them to undermine and conquer the military government, dismantle the military government. And then when the TPLF came to Addis Ababa, the EPLF, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, was the backbone of the movement to create a new government, stabilize, and then give an opportunity, empowerment, resources for the TPLF to control Ethiopia. It seems that the understanding was, in return, the TPLF will allow independence for Eritrea. And so Eritrea became independent in 1993. His original vision was to create Eritrea as a kind of a superpower in the region. And as the TPLF became more powerful, the international community supported Ethiopia since a larger territory. The EPLF, or the Eritrean government, became more vulnerable. Then, because he is authoritarian, because he's a dictator, he's also vulnerable, unpopular internally, and so he survives by sheer power of military control and demonizing and crushing the opposition. On the TPLF side, originally the TPLF proposed to the West the idea of a coalition government, ethnic-based government, multi-ethnic based government. It included originally the TPLF, the Oromo Liberation Front, the Amhara. The TPLF strategy was, in tactic, were to create organizations that it can control, to create organizations that will oppose the genuine popular organizations created by the ethnic groups. So, for example, in 1992, there was a regional elections, and it was international supervised. Particularly, the TPLF apparently wanted to push out, dismantle, delegitimize the OLF, so they did a lot of hostile activities during those elections. Then the OLF withdrew from the government, and then eventually, subsequently, the TPLF declared it is an illegal organization, expelled its leadership. It is undemocratic system. completely controlled by this small group from Tigray. In particular, 2005, there was elections, statewide elections, international supervised. By some accounts, the Amara organization, CDU, won the elections, but the TPLF attacked its leadership, killed some. So it's very clear that the TPLF were completely a dictatorial organization. With every major ethnic group, it is hostility. It has violent interactions, like with the Zama ethnic group, with the Oromo ethnic group, now with the Amara ethnic group, with the Gambela ethnic group, now with the Konso ethnic group. And then in Ogaden, it has been conducting a genocide type of war. So it is very, very unpopular. Why do they engage in risky activities, such as talking about war between Eritrea and Ethiopia? The reason is, from my point of view, all the opposition groups have headquarters in Asmara, such as the Oromo Liberation Front. Now there's a new group, Gombo 7, Amara group, others are in Asmara. So they always worry that EPLF will support opposition to the TPLF. That will undermine the ability to control Ethiopia. That's their fear, biggest fear. And the Eritrean regime is also afraid of the TPLF because there is when Eritrea was fighting, EPLF was fighting against the government of Haile Selassie, and also the military government. The jets had to fly from Bishoftu, adjacent to Addis Ababa, go all the way to Eritrea. Since TPLF took power in Ethiopia, it created an international airport in Mekelle with limited resources, so the government is very afraid. Therefore, they play games, risky games. And also, by creating these hostile postures in public, they tend to believe that they can secure more popularity from their own population, their own base. For example, for the Eritreans, losing independence would be a catastrophic national event. For the TPLF, losing power in Ethiopia will be a catastrophic political event. Therefore, for these reasons, both are insecure, both are afraid of each other, so they engage in this risky kind of public posturing about wars.
Are there external actors hidden or visible in the current round of hostility between Ethiopia and Eritrea?
Events in that region. During the Cold War, external actors were visible, like the Soviet Union supported Somalia for a long time against Ethiopia, and vice versa. The American government supported Ethiopia against Somalia. At that time, they were visible. Now they are less visible, but one would assume that they are present also for the following reasons. The West have made big investment in keeping Ethiopia together at any cost. The TPLF regime receives the biggest foreign aid to Black Africa. Therefore, they are afraid of Al-Shabaab in Somalia. They're afraid of the disintegration of the state. In the U.S. State Department, there's a popular vocabulary, the failed state. And so they don't want Ethiopia to become a failed state. It cannot provide security. So it's a chaos. So the West is afraid of any potential for a chaos in Ethiopia. And the West is hostile toward the regime in Asmara against the Eritrean government. And also recently there are reports that some Arab countries like Saudi Arabia indicated that they will not allow Ethiopia to take over certain ports on the Red Sea. So there are signals there. And so in a very important way, all these regimes are supported by outside for their survival. And it is my judgment that if hostility breaks out, they are going to be more visible. There's also the hidden force there, which is the African Union. The African Union had its headquarters in Addis Ababa, which is an unfortunate political event. And they have been looking the other way to fall apart. They are concerned about the legacy of Ethiopia, the mythical Ethiopia they always believed in, be the sepulchral side of it. That is, they have headquarters in that city. Therefore, they don't want anything to alter the condition.
What are the implications for those groups who oppose the current regime in Ethiopia?
One is, obviously, if a war was to break out, and then the TPLF has to move its military from the Ogaden to the border of Eritrea. It has to move its military, transfer its military from Oromia. Now, for some months now, the Oromia, the Oromo region has been under martial law, controlled by the military power, military contingent, and so they have to move these military contingent to a war zone. This has profound implication in that sense. Government will be weaker in standing up against any opposition in those territories, such as in Oromia, such as also in the Ogaden. And also now there is a new, fresh confrontation between the Amharas in Gondor area in the regime. For all of this is a profound implication that it will give them new opportunity to stagger them. The other side of the implications, which is there are organizations, political organizations, which oppose to the Tigray regime in Addis Ababa, which have their offices in Asmara. For example, the OLF has its headquarters in Asmara, and also other groups have their headquarters in Asmara. If the war breaks out, if Eritrea becomes threatened, or even the plan of, according to some sources, the desire of the TPLF is to remove Isaias Afwerki and replace with someone else who will be less hostile toward them, or someone or some kind of government they can have influence over, have control over. So it will be a big negative event, consequences for those political organizations which have offices in Asmara, such as the Oromo Liberation Front. It will be a major, significant, major negative event for them.
What are the implications for the Oromo people if the current situation becomes escalated, and how should the Oromo respond to this new round of crisis? This interview will continue next week.